Hello friends, a very quick video on emotional intelligence. So when we talk about emotional intelligence, what is the first thing that comes to our mind? Then we know that emotional intelligence is a cluster of two words, that is emotion and intelligence. And by the way, I've already made a video on emotion as well as intelligence. How are they both regulated? And yeah, I have tried to explain, the best as I could. So if you watch the video, then it will give you a proper understanding on emotional intelligence as well. So yeah, so when we are talking about emotional intelligence, then we can simply put it this way: emotional intelligence is nothing but it's an ability to understand one's own emotion and also the emotion of others. So it's firstly understanding my emotion, then next thing, not just understanding my emotion, but when I understand my emotion, then how do I handle my emotion, right? When I'm angry, how do I um, how do I manage that anger? Or when I'm sad, how do I manage that sadness? Or when I'm happy, so how extensive can I be happy? So something like that. So it's a good way to manage your emotion. So understanding my emotion, managing my emotion, then next thing, able to understand others' emotion. So as far as you understand your emotion, emotional intelligence gives us the understanding that then it is highly necessary to understand the emotions of others as well. And when we try to understand the emotions of others, then we try to help them, right? We try to help them do better with their emotion, understand their emotion better. So that is all about emotion and emotional intelligence. I mean, that's the basic way to understand emotional intelligence. When we talk about emotional intelligence, people like uh, Mayer comes in, or Daniel Goleman comes in, and then Howard Gardner comes in, and a lot of people comes in with their different theories and with their different explanation on emotional intelligence. But one book that I would highly recommend is Emotional Intelligence: Why It Can Matter More Than IQ by Daniel Goleman. So this is a very groundbreaking book that Goleman have wrote, and this book have actually really helped me understand emotional intelligence better. So with having high emotional intelligence, we will be able to handle ourselves better, because when we talk about Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence, then there are two categories there. It also mentions uh, intrapersonal strength and interpersonal strength, or interpersonal relationship. So when we are talking about intrapersonal, it's simply an ability to understand yourself, understand your strengths and weaknesses, and able to manage yourself. So that is about intrapersonal. So same thing goes to interpersonal. So if that state, so under your own subjective state, you can handle, then are you able to understand the same way? Are you able to understand people around you the same way? And are you able to help them out if when necessary? So that's the question. So that is what Howard Gardner multiple intelligence shows, and therefore it is necessary to know about emotional intelligence a lot. And like, I find lots of criticism against emotional intelligence, of course, but I totally agree, and I would totally stand for emotional intelligence, because knowing about emotional intelligence have helped me a lot personally, and therefore it is highly necessary to talk about emotional intelligence and know about emotional intelligence, because emotional intelligence can really help you improve your relationship, whether it be with your friends, your romantic relationship, or whichever relationship that uh, you want to talk about. Then it can also improve your uh, communication skills, of course, and then your job satisfaction. A lot of more things comes in. That is why in Goldman book, try to bring a huge argument that, of course, it's I'm just paraphrasing it, that um, it is so obvious that IQ is a very good determiner on what we can become, but EQ, on the other hand, is a very strong determiner on whether you can even become or not. So, just because you have high IQ does not assure you that you will surely achieve that. But what you need with a high IQ is your EQ. So, having a person with high IQ doesn't necessarily mean that the person will not meet challenges, the person will not meet with failures. Every person would meet with failures and challenges. Then, when that's so, how well do you cope up with it? How resilient you are when you fail? How how much can you bounce back from your failure? So that's the question here, very practical question. And so emotional intelligence help us to understand, do all these issues clearly. And so I would highly recommend this book. And of course, in another video, we can talk further about emotional intelligence. Yeah. And the other thing would be, the other thing would be, uh, here something is very interesting. The opening statement, I mean, like the opening statement in the book starts with Aristotle Aristotle's challenge. Here it says, this is Aristotle saying, anyone can become angry. That is easy, but to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the right way, this is not easy. So this is Aristotle saying. So this statement itself makes something very much clear about emotional intelligence. So anybody can get angry, right? Anybody can express negative emotion or positive emotion. But how aware are we, and then how good are we in handling that emotion? It's a natural thing to be angry. It's a natural thing to be sad. It's a natural thing to be happy. But to express certain emotion at the right time, at the right moment, towards the right person, for right reason, like these things are difficult. And so emotional intelligence helps us to understand all of this. It can also, it has lots of positive impact on our health, and then it also has a huge impact on our academia, then success, then business, and a lot of things comes in. So that is these are some of the reasons why I say that emotional intelligence is very much important. It has implicitly and explicitly a very positive impact on our everyday life. So that is why emotional intelligence is something that we should take it seriously and learn, regardless of which field you are from. Anybody, I mean, every human beings, every social beings, and every rational and emotional being should know about emotional intelligence. So that's the end of the video, and I hope you have learned something. Hopefully we'll make another better video on emotional intelligence. But as for today, that's the end of the video. So I'll see you in the next video, and do not forget to subscribe if you have still not subscribed, and if you are new to this channel, you are welcome. And I will keep bringing educational videos like emotional intelligence and so on. So please consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.